Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Viking.gg versus Virtus.Pro in the Epic League Upper Bracket Finals, game number 2. We saw VP took that first game. I mean, they were ahead pretty much the entire time, apart from that one point where Viking made a pretty nice comeback and potentially could have got themselves back into it. But they just let that little lead that they got slip once again, and VP just gained dominance and managed to close out the game before Viking could try and make a comeback Mark 2. So we'll see if maybe Viking are going to have a little bit of a better time this game. Maybe thought about how VP was playing a lot of that last game, and maybe try and make some sort of different alterations to their own gameplay, perhaps. Or if they're just going to pretty much go for a similar sort of strategy and just hopefully they get luckier. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. So VP got the first pick. Obviously, it was Viking had the first pick in that previous game, and they went for the IO. There is that potential grab once again, but VP could just grab the Faceless Void once again. When they chose to actually ban out the Slardar rather than taking it this game. Even though they had the first pick and they picked it up in the first phase of that last game. So see what they can go for. They are just going to lead up with the Faceless Void once again. Very, very safe pick for Epileptic Kid. Got an absolutely absurd win rate on it. I think it's like 85% or something so far this tournament for the amount of times he's picked it up. It is really very, very dominant. So we'll see if Viking's going to be able to maybe change up their draft a little bit to not just get screwed over by this Faceless Void once again. They're just going to lead up once more with the IO. And VP responds by instantly grabbing that Magnus. So this is... Oh, and then Viking's going to grab the Sven. Okay. So the Sven, pretty standard carry. Super common in this meta right now. There's so many pairings that go well with it. It's obviously, as he gets that Aghanim's online, can just, you know... The one key problem that's always been with Sven throughout every single patch in the history of Dota 2 is his maneuverability in the fights. It's so easy to cut him out. But with the Aghanim's, obviously, it turns him into a real hero. A superhero. A Superman, you could say. As he just flies around Hadoken people. But even still, VP with this position... Well, I was going to say position 5 Magnus. It's most likely position 5 Magnus. It's what a lot of teams run it as. Some do still like to run it as a core and put it into their off lane or mid. Depends on the sort of situation the draft is currently in. But it is most likely going to be that position 5 in the hands of Ilias. Then the Faceless Void has just got that Empower bot following him the entire time. And he doesn't really have to worry about going for any sort of main farming utility items. Can just sort of mainly focus on protecting himself and trying to increase the damage output. So probably see maybe go for like a earlier S and Y perhaps on this Faceless Void. I doubt he'll probably go for the Hand of Midas again, right? Or would he? I'm not sure. He could, if he goes to the Hand of Midas, it would definitely mean he's going to be able to match the pace, the farmer speed of the Sven for sure. Seems like he'd have that Midas plus the Empower. Obviously, the Empower isn't really enough to alone match the farmer speed of a Sven because the Greater Cleave like doubles the actual cleave area damage. Because yeah, I think max Empower is like 30% cleave or 40%. I think it's 30%. But yeah, Greater Cleave is 60 or 80. I can't remember now. I think it's 70? We'll have to find out when the game starts. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. Don't know these exact numbers. But very, very similar bans from Viking in this second game. Take away the Phoenix once again, the Undying, and it's the Invoker. And meanwhile, VP take away the Bambi, the Viper, and the Shadow Demon. So we'll see what Viking's going to grab up for their third hero now. Probably be their next support hero. We'll see if maybe they're going to swap it up a little bit and put the IO into Aramis' hands this game, perhaps, rather than Solari's, and maybe try and run it in some sort of aggressive off lane against the Faceless Voids. But they won't. They're going to grab the Dark Willow instead. So it will be Solari on their IO once more. Dark Willow will be for Aramis as the 4. So we could potentially see a Mars pickup now coming out from Viking into the hands of Toby. VP snagged that Crystal Maiden once again. It worked pretty well in Illus's hands in that previous match. Managed to get quite a few catches with the Ice Blast slow. Plus, just the global mana regen comes really handy for a lot of different heroes that can benefit from that. Just a little bit of increased sustainability. So we'll see what Vikings are going to grab for their 4th hero. I assume it's going to be the Mars, right? It makes the most amount of sense. It's a hero that Toby does like to roll with. And it does pair up quite nicely with the Dark Willow. Or maybe they might just go for... Well, I was going to say they could go for the Beast Master, but once again they're going to be up against the Crystal Maiden if they do that move. So it seems to have quite a bit of reserve time. They really want to think about what it is they're going to grab up. Oh, okay, so they're going back for the Tidehunter. So, despite the fact of how awful Toby had in that off lane, they go for exactly the same hero grab, paired against the exact same heroes. But at least this time, he's going to have the Dark Willow support rather than the Earth Spirit. I mean, I'm not saying that the Aramis's Earth Spirit wasn't good that game, but he wasn't really present a lot, and he couldn't really apply that much aggression or assistance towards Toby to try and just alleviate some of the pressure that's coming out from the two VP heroes. So we'll see if maybe this Dark Willow pickup is going to allow him to do that. And maybe just make a little bit more space for Toby so he doesn't go like 0-5 by minute 10 again. But it wasn't by minute 10 that he was 0-5, it was probably like minute 15. But even still, Toby had an absolutely terrible game in that previous one. Really, really bad. So, yeah, we'll see if this actually works out better for him. Hopefully it does just for Toby's sake, to be honest. Because you know, we've all had that game in our pubs where you just constantly get just real dicked on by the enemy team. It just feels unrelenting and it feels biased. It feels really, really biased. It feels like they just hate you. They target you that much. But of course that's not the case. It's just how the game works out. But even still, VP, they take the Snapfire as their position 4. Okay, so is this going to be the return of the Snapfire mid? It was quite high meta pick for a couple of weeks at the very start of this tournament, like in the group stages. But it's been a while since we've actually seen it. So maybe... I mean, they could just be running this as position 5. Well, no, you wouldn't because you've got the Snapfire. So maybe 4? And then the Magnus... Well, actually, no. This would be a core Magnus anyway, right? Seems like you've already got the Crystal Maiden, which is pretty much guaranteed to be the 5, and you wouldn't have a position 4 Magnus. That just feels really awkward and clunky. So this is most likely going to be an off-lane Magnus with the Snapfire support, maybe, or they could still put the Snapfire in the mid for GPK to roll with. Get that early Aghanims and then start firing in the Magnus or the Faceless Void, depending on the situation. So we'll see what they are going to do. Viking, they ban out the Skywrath, so maybe they are thinking that this is going to be a mid Snapfire, so they just want to try and focus onto Aramis instead, take away a few of those high damage position falls, especially one that can abuse the mobility lockdown that comes out from the Chronosphere as well. VP take away the Leshrac and the Zeus. Because so far it's quite a high amount of pressure on the Sven to be the key source of damage in these coming fights. It feels very, very similar to it was in that previous game, where it was just PA and the rest of his team was sort of just help sustaining sort of thing, but it pretty much was just PA against the world in terms of actually trying to kill people. So we'll see what Viking will grab as their 5th hero. And Viking even ban out the Clockwork as the final hero ban. So they are definitely thinking that it is just a saves hero left to pick up for the side of VP, thinking this is going to be a core Snapfire. And it does make sense, because as I was saying as well, the Snapfire, you don't really see a Snapfire as a 4. She tends to be in position 5 as well. So it just sort of makes sense the GPK would be taking it to the mid. So we'll see what they will grab up. And it's going to be the ET. So this will be saves ET, I imagine. The position 4. Obviously able to increase the damage output of the Faceless Void with the Naturalize. Stripping away a lot of the protection on the side of Viking. But Viking have got plenty of reserve time to work with now for their final hero pickup. Maybe something like a Puck could be quite good. Try and disable the back lines. And the Faceless Void... No, they're just going to go for the Doom. Okay, so... It's feeling like a very, very similar strategy for Viking right now. Extremely similar. And I don't really like it, in all honesty. I think this is going to be... Again, they're just lacking damage. It's all on Shad, is this Sven. I mean, Aramis can do a fair amount, I suppose. But, yeah, it feels like there's so much weight on Shad's shoulders once again. We'll see if he's able to actually pick up that slack and really perform for his team and try and carry him through it. Or if VP is going to crush him again. And I sort of feel like they will. I just really like the draft of VP right now. Once again, they've got a nice amount of team fight. Got a good amount of frontline tank. A nice amount of disable as well. And they got damage sources from quite a few different people. The Faceless Void can do a bit. GPK with the Mortimer's Kisses does a lot. Ilias can do to some degree if he gets a decent ultimate. Even there, the right clicks of the Magnus can hurt as well. So, yeah, I'm feeling VP. I think VP will take this series 2-0. We'll see if I'm correct with my infinite Dota wisdom. Or if I'm just going to be completely wrong. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I think Boom should have a slightly better time in this mid lane now. He's not going to get zoned out too badly. Obviously, the kiss, the cookie and the Scatterblast combo that comes out from a Snapfire can be quite potent, do quite a chunk of damage. But a Doom is a very tanky hero with a nice amount of sustainability with the regen. So he might be able to sustain through it. Not just going to get ran at with the Soul Siphon on him with a couple of Crypt Swarms in his back. Because that can be a difficult thing to deal with. So luckily... none of that's going to be happening this game. And once again, a pause straight away. Gotta love those instant pauses, you know. Just straight up crash. A goddamn crash. It's funny how he crashed just as he's learning into the game, eh? Suspicious. Very suspicious. Big circles drawn out by Ilias. Who knows what this means? Is VP going to do their classic high ground standoff and just wait here for the side of Viking to potentially walk into them? Or is something different going to happen? If Viking might try and go with some sort of weird smoke play, perhaps? No, they've not bought one, but meanwhile, VP have bought a smoke. It's in the hands of Ilias, and 3 and 4 heroes actually just all conga lining through towards the mid lane. And it actually looks like they might just run straight into the members of Viking. Obviously, Viking haven't got a smoke themselves, but even still, just a large chunk of heroes all just going to start sitting on top of this high ground. VP could potentially run into a complete disastrous situation. Saves the lead in the front lines. His smoke will pop. That's not going to change him to turn around. Shad goes towards the back, gets a nice double Stormhammer, and now the rest of VP are in a really dangerous situation. Quite a lot of damage onto Viking, though. Shad, he's taking so much, he actually ends up dropping. He actually ends up dying over it. It's too much burst damage from the side of VP, and they need to fully retreat. Oh my god. Wow, how did that happen? He got way too deep.
You lose face and life.
VP are just bullying Viking out of their own jungle now. Shad has respawned. He's starting to walk back over in this direction. Now the rest of Viking have actually turned around. I don't think they're going to be able to take any sort of engagement, though. VP may as well just bail out with what advantage they did get. VP just poking around. The Ice Blast comes out familiar, slowing down the Boom and Toby. Lucia needs to be a little bit careful. Shad coming up from behind. Won't be able to find anything. And ends up actually, Epileptic even manages to take one of the bounties up top. So it's going to be 3 in favour of VP there. But it was just, I think it was just the right clicks from Save, to be honest. He got 5 hero connections with that Astral Spirit. And what's that? Damage, bonus damage per hero, 20. So he would have had plus 100 damage. He was hitting for 150 at minus a minute into the game. That is absolutely disgusting. That is basically like a 40-minute Divine Rapier, and I'm not even going to lie. In terms of actual comparisons, that is what that would have been. Truly disgusting. And Shad just got very over-aggressive, led the charge, and just got completely surrounded. Real brutal for him. He's still... At least Toby hasn't died yet. He's still alive for now. Let's see if he gets this run at. I think it was around level 2 or 3 mark where VP really started applying a lot of pressure onto Toby. To Gambus though, he's able to trade quite effectively there with Ilias. Quite a few hits and the Bramble Maze connection. Nice chunk of damage there onto the CN. So Epileptic Kid is hitting into Toby. And he's able to just time walk back and get all that HP back. It's so damn annoying. Trying to get a few lucky bashes on Toby, but doesn't quite find him. But even still, once again, just Toby's getting zoned so much. Forced to use his salve already. What's the situation in the mid? Very even in CS once again, as we saw in that previous game. Yeah, it doesn't feel like... Well, I mean, I know it's very early doors. So maybe once it gets a couple more levels onto Aramis, then you could potentially start being able to make a bit more space for Toby and try and pressure Epileptic Kid. But yeah, there's no Epileptic Kid. He's just on top of the tier 1 tower right now. Very deep. But he can do it. Oh, he actually gets caught out there by the Bramble Maze, plus the Gush stay up. Epileptic Kid has actually forced us to TP back to his tower. So nice little grab there by Viking, applying a nice chunk of pressure onto the Faceless Void. Obviously, they don't find the kill, and it will just cost him a couple of tangos. But even still, you know, it's better than nothing. The Shad's having a relatively nice time down bot as well. Basically, pretty up there on the terms of CS. Top stay. Epileptic Kid taking quite a bit of harassment once again. It's the presence of the Dark Willow seems to be applying a bit more pressure than the Earth Spirit managed to do in the previous game. But it looks like Toby might have overextended. It is getting a lot of hits onto him. Unfortunately, Epileptic Kid could not quite get close enough to get a couple of hits and try and go for a bash. So Toby does survive. Once again. He lives to splash another day. Boom's actually just off jungling already. Maybe a little bit. No, he's actually not missed out on anything. Still got the same XP as GPK. So maybe he doesn't mind about that. Oh, just a jump forward there from GPK with the cookie. Just trying to harass out the Doom a little bit. The Doomy Boomy. What a ugly ass courier that is. My apologies for dissing on the courier, but it looks pretty rough. Oh, Toby then gets bashed onto the tower. But Epileptic Kid realised he was running out of creeps. Makes the very wise choice of bailing out before he just gets screwed over. Obviously, this game, DM's not able to apply as much pressure as he did in that previous game as the Slardar. Because Sven isn't really that scared of a Magnus. Just they pretty much trade right clicks very, very similarly. Rather than when you go up against a Slardar, obviously he's got those bashes that really make the trading with him unfavorably. But Shad's quite happy. He's just standard farming away, not really being pressured whatsoever. Still basically at the top of that CS chart. The 5-minute bounty spawn will just be 2 for 2 straight down the middle. Everything's just very chill this game. Very, very chill. No one's really trying to pressure forwards. GPK, he's got the Mortimer's Kisses ready to go. It's still quite a difficult kill to try and go for onto the Doom. Such a similar Doom is a very, very tanky hero, especially in the early parts of the game. Oh, Toby, he's getting quite low. Bashed up there by Epilepsy Kid. Trying to juke out to the right side, but he's so much slower. He hasn't got any sort of boots. And then Ilias actually just cleans up the kill with the Ice Blast. So there's the first death on Toby. It's a lot later than it was in the previous game, so I don't think he minds too much. Oh, GPK with a nice cookie there, just to guarantee the double damage rune pickup. In the bottle as well. Maybe so it's just everyone on the side of Vikings just a little bit happy with how everything's going at the moment. Just Boom and Shad, top of that net worth, top of the CS in terms of net worth. Net worth is actually GPK by 400 gold. Quite a large chunk of gold actually. Not quite sure how he's managed that. Maybe they would. I don't know. How has he got so much more than Boom does? 300 more gold, only 1 CS difference. Boom has more CS, plus he has the farmer speed of the Devour. And it's not like he's been spending those on consumables, right? Or has he? He must have. That's the only way you could actually be that far behind in terms of actual gold. But this will just be a very nice Aghanim Scepter timing for GPK this game. Looks like maybe he's thinking about making a move down towards the bot and set up a gank onto Shad. But decides against it. Yeah, just getting down some aggressive wards. We'll spot out the 1 stack made by Aramis. So there will be the potential of trying to go for some sort of gank on whoever goes for those stacks. It probably will just be Shad later on when he's actually forced out of his lane. But I don't really see Shad leaving this bot for quite a while. He's just not being pressured enough to actually have to leave. But a lot of heroes are in the mid lane. The sub from Epilepsy Kid, he drops the Chronosphere with the Mortimer's Kisses on top of GPK. They will find the kill onto the Doom Boom. Doomy Boomy. And he does drop. He's got his 2 little Doom babies running around. One of them does die. Look at this, so cute. Look at these cute little things. He's covered in light stones though. Looks pretty ugly actually. Never mind, it's not cute at all. But that's first chrono, first kisses usage coming out from the side of VP. That's fine, confused. Leave a DM now, committing the RP, skewering Shad all the way back towards the T1. Elias had rotate round, even GPK, shotgun to the face of the Sven, just brings him down instantly. Jesus, that was so much damage. That's pretty much a point blank scatter blast as well. So lovely kill once again there from VP, finding the position 1 on Viking. And that looks like GPK is sort of hanging around this area, maybe wants to just try and force down this tower again. Said he's actually just forcing out DM. Says, yeah, I'm going to take all your creeps, mate. There's actually quite a few rotations coming out there from Vikings. Shad's come back down as well as Aramis. So maybe they want to try and protect up this tier 1 tower. Crown, plus the Bramble Mace, trying to lock GPK, but there was the stomp out. Trying to make as much time. Shad now committing the God Strength. GPK getting run down, even the Doom committing on top of him. I don't see any way to survive for this poor Snapfire. And he does die. But it does cost quite a few rotations, some big spell use. It's actually an immediate smoke out from the side of Viking. They want to try and find something else with the God Strength usage. It will be Ilias that they run into, but I don't think Shad's going to get close enough for the jump. He doesn't. And actually going to find a triple stack on these Ancients. Perfect find for Viking. Just going to completely soak up all of this farm that VP was saving up for the Void eventually. VP have now rotated around. They want to try and make some sort of play happen. Save's getting deleted in the back, getting pretty low. But Shad with the skewer. He actually ends up dodging the Morm's Kiss cover it, but not that it really matters. He does drop eventually. Now the rest of Viking need to get out of there. They are also hurt by the Ice Blast. Even the relocate there from the IO takes Boom to safety. Arambus will still fall. And the IO will drop as well. So they end up losing 3 heroes for that Ancient stack, which they don't actually even completely get. There's still 2 of the big creeps left. Yeah, Slurry dies as well. But yeah, like, so now if they got those 2 kills, I think Shad wouldn't really have minded too much. But these are the 2 biggest gold rewarding creeps, and he doesn't get either of them. That's a little bit unlucky there for Shad. It was a nice attempt though. Definitely worthwhile going for, especially seeing as how he had the God Strength still activated. And now he has to try and run it. He's already TP'd down to this bot lane. And everyone on the side of VP is trying to come off the stomp. Does actually end up getting dodged. Even the Chronosphere, it doesn't connect onto him, but none of it matters. He's just trapped in this tiny little square. Even the Earth Split comes out on top. Shad doesn't have a drop, but the RP connects onto 2. Loads of heroes locked in together. The Fear's stopping. Loads of damage actually coming out. Aramis will eventually fall. But there's still 5 members of VP all around here. Only 2 members of Viking. They're trying to run into the trees, but lovely double cookie there from GPK into the double Scatter Blast. Snare will fall. Even the Ravage gets committed super defensively, and it's not going to save anyone's life. DM's still, Toby's still going to drop. Another complete catastrophe there for the side of Viking. Losing 4 heroes. And don't get a single thing in return. And that was even Shad just after he used his TP, so he has to run back to where he wants to go. Really, really nice early plays coming out from VP. But even though, once again, we see this score 2-11, massively in the favour of VP, but it's still just less than a 1k gold lead in favour of them. And even the 2 position ones have got hardly any net worth difference, despite the fact that Epileptic Kid is 2-0-7, and Shad is 0-4-1. Like, massive difference in actual KDA score. But, yeah. But just purely because it's a Sven and the farming speed that he gets, he's actually able to still remain at the top. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Boom! Wait, what? What's Boom doing back here? Why is he behind the tier 2 tower? Oh, is he going to get out? Oh, no, the final hit comes out there from tower, just finishes him off. But even still, what the hell is he doing there? That's way too deep. Way, way, way too deep. I mean, there's probably some sort of story behind it, a little bit of narrative about the reason of why the Doom was back behind that position. Unfortunately, I skipped the first couple of pages of that book. At least Toby finds something. He's got the tier 1 tower top. Woohoo! Not too bad, Toby, not too bad. But his score is definitely better than the previous game. He's 0-2-0 this time. He's not 0-5-0. So, you know, find the key points, you know. Every cloud has a silver lining. For GPK, he's now got that Aghanims online at 30 minutes in. Super early, ready to make some action happen with it. Let's see who they actually end up running. Steri gets spotted out by their warp. They actually spot out Shad. The Gobble Up plus the Spell. Going to come out from GPK. Actually just about manages to clip down the Shad with the Scatter Blast. Finishes off the Sven. And it's another death for Shad. Now he's 0-5-1. Okay, so he's just traded place with Toby this game. He's the one who's getting screwed over. But even still 200 gold over the top of Epileptic Kid. And Epileptic Kid still has some power and Mask of Madness as well. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the actual gold differences in this game. It's really all over the place. But even still, just VP just feels so much further ahead in terms of actual momentum. Imagine XP lead is quite better. 4,000 gold at 14 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I mean, Epileptic Kid is like over a full level on top of Shad right now. Boom. I can't quite see what that is. So he's a quarter of his way to his level 1, quarter off. Meanwhile, GPK is halfway through his level 11. Looks like Doom though. Might potentially get quite a bomb. Even the relocate coming out from Soleri. What? He's just hiding. Oh no, the chronosphere gets dropped. Solari's going to get out there in 2 seconds. Is going to be enough. Oh, even the RP gets committed by DM. What was that about? Oh, this game is just complete shenanigans right now. I haven't got a clue what's going on. It's just so all over the place. Shad, he might get spotted out, but actually the ward does spot out Boom and Solari as well. So VP aren't going to try and get another grab onto the Sven this game. They're going to let him live. But just VP just chucking their ultimates willy-nilly all over the place. Go up from the spout, does connect there. Even with the Warmest Kisses on top onto Doom, there's no way he can survive that. And he does drop as well. Once again, another kill going towards GPK. Even going for the Blink Dagger as his next item. Maybe just to follow up the spit out that he does. Just so he can actually start getting involved with his team a little bit more. VP just feels so far ahead. In terms of like just momentum and how they're playing. They just feel so potent. But obviously, because they're spending so much time just killing the members of Viking, no one's actually farming. So that's why the difference in their weapon isn't actually there. Toby trying to get in there. The Fear does connect on doing this. Going to cancel his stop. Takes quite a bit of damage there from the Dark Realm hit. Finally, the Ravage gets committed by Toby. Connects onto 3. It looks like Ilias will fall. Even the Doom there connection onto save. I don't think it's going to be enough to bring him down. They're actually going to carry on charging forwards. They've gone up in the spell there from GPK, but delaying the kill a little bit. It looks like Save will eventually fall. Even Shazam getting involved with the God Strength. Epileptic Kid had to time all back. He doesn't have any ultimates to drop the stop. Connects on the Shad. Going to hold him down in place. But there's still enough members of Viking to keep him back. Like I say, but the outcomes of Warmest Kiss is grouping onto so many members inside of Viking. There's lava flying everywhere, but there is the BKB that just got delivered there for Boom. Lovely time of that. Keeps it alive for Safe. Now Shad gets a double stun. Doing quite a little bit of damage with this God Strength. Still not going to be enough to bring anyone down. This is so back and forth now, but GPK, he has to try and fall back. Doom, it looks like he overextended. He gets caught out by the freeze there for Milius. And now VP, will they be able to find anything else? Celery just trying to bait him back out and spit out. Connects onto both of them. Perfect shot there by GPK. He gets the kill onto Solari. And now Shad will fall as well. Absolutely incredible shot from GPK. That's a well, I know no basketball terms, but that was from downtown, that's for sure. Good lord, that was perfect. So it looked so back and forth in that engagement. And it looked like maybe Viking could have come out on top at a couple of points, but just VP disengaging and re-engaging at the right times. Even with the buyback there from Save, really turned that engagement around. And just again, that was an absolutely perfect spit out there from GPK. Perfectly on target to grab them both. Oh, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. So, and that was actually without any of their big ultimates, right? So RP's up and Chronosphere's up. Well, they go for a smoke up there. They actually end up running straight into Boom. That's not the target you want. It's way too tanky. GPK, he's gobbled up. Well, again, another perfect connection. Solari, he was even charging up the relocate to take Boom out of there, but it actually ends up him being the one who gets targeted. So he drops. Now Shad, he's getting hunted by Epileptic Kid, but he actually starts bailing out just in time, so he won't get caught. Even Toby was rotating around to try and make a little bit of space for him. If he does end up getting targeted up. So it doesn't look like Shad's going to fall victim to the kill onslaught of VP this time. No, it really feels like VP have picked up the OG mantra of slay, slay, slay. You know, just don't stop charging. Don't really care about farming. You don't need to. You just want to keep trying to find kills as much as you possibly can. Ooh, looks like GPK wanted to go for a spit out there onto Boom, but couldn't quite find the target. So the Shad's trying to farm up. He really wants to try and get his next item online, and it will be the BKB. But despite the fact that he's actually got this hand of Midas as well, and the farming speed of the Great Cleave, the amount of pressure that VP's been applying to him, he's not been able to farm up whatsoever, as he is 0-6. With 2 assists, but even still, 1,000 gold behind the Faceless Void. With a casual Javelin? What's this Javelin for? Is he trying Trying to build a halberd? Is that what you need to build a halberd? I'm not too sure. But VP, they're going for a smoke up now, heading towards the triangle once again on the side of Viking. It looks like Boom will be the one they run into. The go up there from GPK. The blind spit out just connects there onto Boom once again. They will force out his BKB and is going to try and turn around. Gets the hit on tap. What was that relocate? What was that? Oh no! And now it's just gonna be Soleri dying. Looks like Aramis tried coming around to make a tether target to get him out of there, but oh, it's just another 2 kills for VP. This, oh, it just feels so bad. Not like, I just don't know. I don't know the words. I just don't know the words. It just feels absolutely in shambles for Viking in this game. I think even they're confused. I think they're just really, really confused about what it is they need to be doing in this game. Because VP are just running at them so damn hard that they're just finding it really difficult to get the space and try and keep themselves in this. But there is a free Roche going over to VP. Aegis in the hands of Epileptic Kid. Oh, he didn't kill the big creep. He just wants those lane creeps. That's all he cares about. Lane creeps are the really important thing. See, little does Epileptic Kid know that there's a juicy little Dark Willow sat right here. He's actually, Aramis going for a smoke up play. Will connect there onto Epileptic Kid before he gets TP out, but he just commits his BKB. Completely stops any sort of gank coming out there from the side of Viking. Even with Boom nearby, ready to drop that Doom. The Boomy Doom. Well, looks like the spit out there from GPK actually ended up missing Shad. Probably the first miss of the game with these spit outs. GPK's been really on it, finding so much for his team. It's 10, 1 and 10 right now. There for pretty much every single kill on VP, apart from 1. That's a really insane statistic. Even Ilias, he's been there for 20 of the kills as well. 2 for 1 for 18 at 21 minutes. That's such a disgusting score. And even DM, Giga support here, 0, 0 and 15. Absolutely nuts. Just such good coordination coming out from VP this game. Just really working together as a unit. The minimal like kill involvement they've got is 15, like 3, 2 and 12, 0, 0 and 15. So every single member on VP's been getting super active. And now they're going to try and go for the hunt again. Doom jumping forwards, manages to get the grab onto DM, but DM just responds by RP'd him in the face. Epileptic Kid wants to come on the side. Out comes the Ravage, but he manages to get the Chronosphere onto 2. It looks like Doom will fall, not going to be any help. And now Shad in the background, Epileptic Kid changes targets, wants to try and get the kill onto the Sven right now. He's not going to get lucky with any bashes just yet. He's still going to be relenting forwards, trying to get the bash. Is all he wants. Shad, he's now going to pop the God Strike, going to try and turn around. Stuns up Epileptic Kid. Epileptic Kid isn't going to be forced back just yet. Going to try and stand his ground with a couple of bashes. Maybe he should have gone back. He's the first life gone with that Aegis. And it looks like the mess of Viking is going to try and gather around to potentially keep this move going. Epileptic Kid now going to change his targets over to supports of Viking, and it looks like they will find the grab onto Aramis, and he does drop. So it does end up being 2 kills for VP. It does cost them quite a lot, both of their big ultimates, as well as the BKB on Epileptic Kid as well. So he's down to his 8 seconds. So this will be the tier 2 tower going down just before the 24-minute mark. Obviously, it's still going to be quite a long time before there is the 30-minute XP bonus coming out from those outposts. So there's still going to be the potential for Viking to try and take it back off the hands of VP to make sure they don't fall any further behind. But I mean, finally, we are seeing this net worth lead actually grow for VP now. There was so long where it was just perfectly even. But now the fights are actually starting to, you know, mean something. Every death is actually lasting more than 10 seconds. So it is quite punishing now to die. It's at that point of the game where you really got to be a little bit more tactical about how you take your engagements. But even still, VP, they're going for a smoke up. They've got the Chronosphere online. RP up in 5 seconds as well. They just want to make immediate moves as soon as they got these big ults online. But it's all the same with Viking. They got the Ravage up in 20 seconds. 3 heroes on the side of Viking, all grouped up on the side. The DM leading the charge onto Toby, screwing him back into the rest of his team. But Epileptic Kid, he uses BKB and drops the Chronosphere. I mean, I don't think he needed to use the BKB there. But even still, he will just make sure that the Tidehunter does die. Not wanting to leave any sort of potential opening for Viking to maybe make a turnaround. I suppose he wasn't too sure how long was left on the Ravage either. Maybe he thought it was online. Which then makes perfect sense, because if you get like 4-man Ravage there, that could have been a good setup for Viking to try and make a counterplay. But I think Viking's happy with that. Toby dies once more, but it is going to be another couple of minutes before the Chrono's online. So it's a little bit more space for Shad to start working on his farm again. And he's working on the Abyssal Blade as his next item. He's nearly got enough just to buy out the Basher straight up. Yeah, he needs 20 more gold, and then he will just buy that Basher. Even still, 3 members of Viking gone for a smoke up of the roam. Got the deep vision. Jump forward from Boom. Wants to try and get the grab. The Fear comes out, collects onto 2 heroes. They're going to try and run back. The Fear as well doing so much damage. Looks like DM will eventually drop. The Curse Crown, hold in place. And then Save gets beaten down as well. Shad and Boom finding the kill each. And that feels like the first favourable engagement for Viking in this game. They get 2 kills. Take down the mid-tier 1 tower. And it looks like they're not done yet. They're going to carry on pushing forwards onto the tier 2. But there is a glyph, obviously, so this will halt progress coming out from this push. But it looks like they just want to tank up the hits from the tower, try and keep the catapult alive. It just barely lives. There's the spit out coming out. Epileptic goes flying on in there. Slary getting focused up. He's going to try and go for the relocate out. Can't quite get off in time. The Ravage commits by Toby in the background. Locks down DM. They're trying to bring him down before he come back online. And he will kill him before he can get that. Big RP off, and now Epileptic, he just gets focused, stunned in place. He's gone for a minute. Even DM gone for a minute. No buyback. That was such a costly move for Viking. It's just GPK left. No buybacks on anyone. No glyph to stop this, and still huge amount of duration left on this God Strength. Oh, it's an absolute disaster for VP. They're going to lose their entire mid barracks for this. It was looking so well from him, but just a couple of small mistakes, and this game is completely flipped on its head now. Viking just steamrolling over VP. Now with a really nice chunky lead. Look at that graph, just heavily spike up. Obviously, there is still 5,000 XP in favour of VP for now, in terms of experience. Obviously, it's, you know, just all that time spent dead on the side of VP halts a lot of progression. And now Shad's actually got a nice chunk of gold over the top of Epileptic Kid for the first time in this game, what it feels like. He's got the Basher online, and he's actually going for the Daedalus, so he's not going to bother trying to finish up the Abyssal Blade. He just wants extra damage to try and bring down Epileptic Kid, drawing all the stun knockdown that they can do. Oh wait, no, never mind. He has actually got... He's got the Abyssal Blade recipe. So he's still finished up. Never mind. I just didn't see that because I'm blind. So now VP needs to be really careful. If they lose one more engagement, they will just completely throw this game away, what it feels like. Looks like DM though, he will get caught, skewed back into the rest of the VP. Even with that super short range spell there from GPK, next kill. And now he's got his Godlight. So I mean, at least GPK didn't die in any of these scenarios. He has been the one to survive each time. And going for the Daedalus is his next item as well. Has he got the... So he's nearly got Lil Shredder uses your damage. Which will be very, very nice once he does have that Daedalus online. Those right click... Those Lil Shredders are going to hurt like hell. They're going to hurt real damn hard. But even still, this... The Abyssal Blade for Shad will be online as soon as he actually just decides to buy the last couple of components. Roshan, minute 30 away. There's just constant courier sat in that pit. So as soon as it spawns, VP will know. I imagine Viking will probably send a cover into that area relatively soon. But VP are all grouping up now in the mid. They want to try and make another move happen. They've got all their big ultimates online. And they just want to try and make sure they carry on using this power spike. Oh, in the mid. Actually, it looks like DM get caught out there by Aramis, but the RP actually gets committed, locking both of them down. But now Shad comes in the side of Godstrength, just cleaving down DM. Oh, is that... What? He's alive over the Stormhammer, follows him up to the high ground. He does die in the end. I think the Infernal Blade was just about to take him down as well, the last hit. But Aramis, what are you doing? You're miles away from the rest of your team, man. Looks like you might get caught out. Viking can try and come in to help Doom. He jumps forward. He gets the Doom connection there onto Epileptic. He can try and hold him back. But GPK with the Gobble Up and the Spit Out makes plenty of space. It looks like it will cost him his own life. But at least he saves GPK. Not GPK, sorry. He saves Epileptic Kid. So it's a worthy sacrifice. But obviously that is the 9-kill streak as well. Going towards Shad. Massive chunk of gold for him. So the net worth lead just getting even bigger. But at least VP, they know there's no Doom to worry about. They did obviously use their RP, but it's not quite as necessary for them as the Doom is for Viking. And looks like VP have gone for a smoke up play, one head into the pit, and Roche has just respawned. So the side of Viking are probably going to move in here pretty soon. If VP time this right, they could get a massive engagement. Oh, but Epileptic actually shows himself at the top lane. So that will actually dissuade Viking from trying to push into the pit just yet. The save does spot out the Roshan spawn with his Astral Spirit. So I think both teams are fully aware that this is here. And I think this next roast engagement is going to be very, very crucial for the side of VP. Obviously, there's a little bit more wiggle room for Viking now, as they pretty much do have all their buybacks ready and available. Actually, I think they even Epileptic doesn't have enough gold, but he's just whacking onto Roche all on his own. Everyone else on the side of VP is just keeping their distance, making sure that they can re-engage if they have to. Aramis getting caught from the side. Both the supports. The spell there comes up from DM. Oh, but DM, he skews it back into the pit. The Ravage actually ends up coming in there from Epileptic Kid. Aramis still does end up dying for the Mortimer's Kisses there onto the pit. Doom pops his BKB, wants to stand his ground. Still another 10 seconds without the Doom actually available to use. He gets brought down despite the fact that his BKB was there. The RP control from DM was enough. And now Toby, he's still hanging around here. He wants to try and secure up this Roche, but the fear, it comes out, it's going to be enough. GPK, though, he will be there to secure the Aegis. Actually, Epileptic Kid somehow still manages to get it. Will drop down the Chronosphere, locks down Shads, trying to do as much damage as he can, but it's about to wear off. And now he's going to try and turn around onto Epileptic Kid, who does enough damage, who actually knows. Both ones getting to save at the moment. To spill out, connects onto 3, and everyone on the side of Viking just gets melted. It's just Solari all the way left, skewered into the very depths of the pit, the depths of hell, and everyone on the side of Viking falls. Nice moves there by VP. Getting a complete team wipe, as well as securing the Aegis and the cheese. Yeah, they got the cheese as well in GPK's hand. So that couldn't have gone better there for VP. They've secured their lead back into this game, which is something they really, really wanted. I know that's Little Shredder does damage to this Daedalus. Or is it actually... He's just not bothering with Daedalus now. What's the... What's GPK building? Or plus the thingy ring. I'm not quite sure. What does that build? I'm just a noob. I just don't know my items. Lincoln's? Oh, so he's built a Lincoln Sphere. So is he just worried about getting doomed himself? It's the only real targetable spell on the side of Viking apart from the Stormhammer. Or the Cursed Crown. I would have thought he should probably stick with the Daedalus, right? Just the sheer amount of damage that he's going to be able to do in these fights is going to be a real help for the rest of his team. Especially on whoever gets caught in Chrono. But anyway, we'll see how this Lincoln Sphere ends up panning out for him. So I think maybe Viking have been a little bit shaken. They felt quite confident after that nice win they had in the previous fight. But that one's definitely sort of put a little... just put the brakes on them, really. Hold their progress. Even though Shad... He didn't have it... Did he have a God Strength? I don't think he had his God Strength for that entire engagement in that pit. So maybe with that up, they could have maybe had a little bit of a better fight. But the rest of Viking up on this high ground. The one just wanted to jump forwards. Boom. Wanted to get the grab there onto DM. But just wasn't quite close enough with that jump forward. If you committed the Doom there, probably would have just been wasted. So, a very good, just good control, really. Not just wanting to willy-nilly slap that R button. There's everyone else on the side of VP all grouped up around the top part of the map. Just waiting for... Well, actually, they've all got all their big ultimates. Everyone has all their ultimates aligned for both teams now. So it looks like VP are going to try and force down this tier 2 tower on the top. And there will be all of the exterior towers killed on the side of Viking once that is actually taken away. And it looks like Viking is going to respond by just going to try and take down the tier 1 bot. I still think VP perfectly happy with that. Tier 2 for tier 1. Oh, actually, they're making a few rotations towards the bot. Solari, though, was in the perfect position to read that move. Epic Kid wanted to get the catch, but just couldn't quite get there in time. But, you know, they actually saved their tier 1 tower as well. What's the glyph used, though? So maybe there is the potential that if I can get a nice fight in the next one, they could just charge down mid, perhaps. Perhaps! You know, if all the conditions are right, and it pans out that way. But even still, Shad got enough money to finish up his Daedalus. Obviously, still needs quite a bit of money to have enough for a buyback as well. See if he's going to care about that. He's not. He's just going all in. Actually, it's only 600 gold, so he'll probably be able to afford another item, the buyback shortly after. The VP have actually gone for a smoke up, heading towards the top. Is Aramis actually heading up here? So they will probably find the grab onto the Dark Willow. Actually, Aramis is just hiding in the trees. Doesn't want to show himself. And for good reason. It probably would have cost him his life if he did. So there's very little time left for this Aegis. It's actually gone in only a few seconds. So VP didn't quite get the best uses out of it this time. Time's Relic? Oh, they're actually just leaving it for GPK. I thought maybe they forgot about it then. That would have been real bad. But that is Aegis reclaimed. So this could be the potential time for Viking to make a move around the map. No double life on the Void this time. Lol. How did he get himself trapped in that tiny little gap? That's impressive. You know, that is pretty impressive. So both teams just... Well, I mean, it's mainly just Viking just turtling at the moment. They're really afraid to just leave their base. Despite the fact that the Aegis is gone, it looks like maybe now they're actually going to try and make the move out. They don't have any smokes available to use though, so they're just going to try and move out and at least get some farms. They're not just wasting all this time sat in their base. But just everyone on the side of VP is just pretty much making an identical move, just on the opposite side of the map. So maybe now VP might want to try and push on to the tier 3 perhaps. They're just a little bit scared for some potential counterplay. They spot the fact that Shad was down bot. So it could be the chance to maybe make a move to the tier 3. Especially seems like they see creeps now just hitting the tower without any reaction from the side of Viking. So surely they should know that no one is actually in the base. Spell Prism found. Who they're going to hand that over to? Elias? Or actually going to give it to Epileptic Kid? It'd probably be quite nice in Epileptic Kid's hand. She save's got it at the moment. Okay. Gonna be spamming out those spirits. Again, it's just a complete open base for Viking. But VP are just still too scared to actually pressure it. DM's pinging it. He's like, I don't think anyone's there. But it's just the fact that there's hardly anyone showing. They occasionally see Shad appearing at this bot lane, but they don't have any vision on anyone else on the side of Viking, who are all just sort of hanging around the area. Even Viking just sort of see the Faceless Void in the mid. Just playing around what little vision they have in their own jungle. Looks like now VP are finally going to start siege onto this tier 3, which is just going to force mass TPs back from the side of Viking now. They have to defend their base. Epileptic Kid manages to get out there before he gets caught out by the Doom. Oh, Aramis. He sees the Arcane Rune, but very wisely decides not to go for it. Would have cost him his life for sure. There's actually a smoke from Doom. Oh, he actually sees an Epileptic Kid. He does a complete U-turn. He doesn't want to jump on that just yet. It would be a very scary moment to try and take. It is. I want to try and potentially find the grab there onto Boom. Not quite get the vision onto him there. So Viking is playing very, very defensive. Any sort of slip up from either team will pretty much cost them absolutely huge amount in this game. Just every single little crucial moment, every spell usage, all the positioning, it matters immensely in this game at the moment. I mean, a 1k goal lead at 41 minutes is like absolutely nothing. It is 0, 0, 0. Even if it was like 5k, it would hardly mean anything at all. Just both of these teams just basically waiting for the next Roche, which is up in 1 minute and 28. And I think that engagement will just spell for the who's going to win this game. I mean, in that previous fight, if Viking won it, then they probably would have been able to close out this game. But the fact that VP managed to take it, they just sort of brought it all back to a neutral standing point. But if they win this one again, there will be a massive advantage once more. And then we could just see him run the game over after that. He's still Smokeless Pugation. Yeah. Ilias, he finds the grab there onto Aramis. Lovely skewer there from DM. Brings the Dark Willow back into everyone on the side of VP. And there's not going to be any response from any of the Viking members. So that's a free kill onto the position 4. There's no sort of other grabs from any of the other members of Vikings. The Doom and the Tide just sat on this high ground. Just conscious of the fact that the Roche could spawn any second. Just Toby leaving illusions in the pit to scout it out the second he's up. VP now just making a little bit of an aggressive move up onto the triangle of Viking. Want to make sure that they can't just easily hold this area and have a standing point for when the next engagement comes. But now the Roche has spawned. Toby's going to try and scout out with another one of his illusions, and he does manage to get it in there. So Viking are perfectly well that this Roche take is happening. Even Aramis now respawned. Epileptic actually jumps out of the pit, and they go for an immediate smoke play. The courier from Aramis doesn't just pull out. The Chronos Figure drop doesn't connect onto anyone. The Ravage there from Toby delaying the assault. Epileptic Kid is trying to bring Toby down. Doesn't actually find the grab. The fear into the backlines. DM also doomed up. He drops. Ilias falls as well. They both melee bomb. There's so much damage. Shadows end up dropping. Boom quickly follows as well. There's everyone getting deleted. GPK finishes the kill onto Slayer as well. The spit out there from onto Epileptic Kid trying to close the gap. Maybe find the kill, and it does bring down Aramis. It's a complete 5-man buyback on the side of Viking. Every single hero wants to get back in there. Also 2 buybacks on the side of VP. And both of these 2 heroes have their key ultimates to use. So this will still be another advantage for VP in this coming engagement. The Viking need to be really careful now. If they get caught out by this RP, this could just be game over. Even the ultimate there from the Crystal Maiden into the back. Aegis quickly grabbed there by Epileptic Kid. Wants to get the grab onto Doom, but just able to get the Blink Dagger out. Oh, the spit out from GPK. Actually connects onto Doom. Perfectly targeted. Does quite a bit of damage, but he's still able to time walk out. He gets into the trees for safety. Will anyone else on the side of VP manage to scout it out? DVM? He actually guesses the wrong way. His boom's gone up. But GPK, oh, the Blink Dagger. He's found him. He's going to try and bring down the Doom. The Scout Blast plus the Cookie on top. Oh, the Scout Blast went the wrong way. But none of it matters. They still managed to kill the Doom. Gone for 100 seconds. No buyback. And still, VP, they've got all the utility in the world. They've got the Aegis. They've got the Refresher Shard as well. They've actually put it into the hands of Epileptic Kid. Still, the RP ready and available to use. The moment the Vikings step out of position, they're going to get immediately punished by this. They've got to be super careful. Got up there from GPK. Just throws DM into the front, gets him brambled up. It's like Shad and Solaria trying to cut some creep waves to stop the further pushes coming out. Epileptic is going to carry on hitting onto the tier 3s. GPK actually goes all the way back to base to try and push the wave, but now he's going to get caught by Shad, who's popped the God Strength. They're going to try and bring down GPK as quickly as they can. The crit's doing so much damage. Even the couple of right clicks on the Cookie, not quite enough to get him onto the high ground, so GPK will fall. Nice move was there by Viking. Save. He's just trying to spot out where Shad and Solaria have actually gone. But Shad now just goes for the TP back. So that little play there by them actually secures enough space for the rest of Viking. So delays the push, keeps their mid lane of Barracks alive. I mean, Epileptic Kid did do a large chunk of damage into this tier 3 though, so nearly brings it down. And VP just aren't done yet. They want to carry on pushing forward. They've realised that God Strength's been used as well. Gone for a minute. Are they actually just TPing back? I thought maybe that would have been their time to just keep pushing down mid. Just the damage output on Shad would have been severely mitigated without this key ultimate. Oh, in the mid, Aramis, he looks like he's been caught out one more time. The skewer into the stomp, set up, and Aramis falls. No Willow for 90 seconds. And now it looks like VP will use this time. God Strength up in 35. Even RP should be up soon. Actually, no, RP was only just used. When was RP used? Did they actually just use it to get the kill out? It must have just used it to kill Aramis. But even still, VP, you're going to use this. Charging down the mid. Everyone else on the side of Viking are completely spread around the entirety of the map. Epileptic Kid just knocks on the tier 4 door. Tier 3. It was tier 3. Takes it down. Going to work his way onto the melee barracks. Shad's just not really interested in now. Wants to just keep pushing into this top lane. Wants to take down the tier 2 tower at least. But it will cost a whole lane of barracks for it. And then I don't see VP falling back. They could just keep going forward. It's going to take down the tier 3 bot. But this is God Strength now online. Shad, they're still pushing up top. Now they're going to try and maybe think about changing direction and going somewhere else. Just cutting creep waves by the looks. Actually, no, Shad's going for the tier 4s. Oh, it responds by mass TPs coming out there from VP. So there will be enough to actually keep their tier 3 alive. Meanwhile, it looks like Solaria didn't ever get caught out. Oh, he's still alive, gets to sip out, and the damage comes out from GPK, brings down Toby very, very quickly. The Doom gets committed there onto Save, trying away, but now Shad actually gets re-involved, brings him down. Immediate buyback though from Save, as there is still a few heroes on the side of Viking that's dead for a really long time. They want to try and use the timings and keep this pressure going. As it is going to be a 4-on-3. Still Chronosphere available to use. God Strength once again on cooldown for over a minute. This is the perfect time for VP to strike and try and close out this game too. All of the main stuff on the side of Viking is already used up. The jump forward from the spit out there nets another free kill onto Aramis. And Epileptic doesn't even care about Megas. He's going straight for tier 4s now. It's just a 2-on-4 for another 30 seconds. No God Strength, no Doom available. It's just these two naked heroes. What can they actually do to stop this? But Chad, he doesn't have a TP. He doesn't even have a TP. There's nothing he can do. Oh, then Boom actually ends up dying. That's it. GG's called by Viking. They hit with a little tip there for Epileptic Kid at the end. Just a little salt in the wound there of Shad. But he was still really nice. Well played there by VP. Just the insane amount of aggression that they've done in this in the start of this game. Just really really delayed as much as they possibly could. And Viking couldn't really get involved for a really long time. There was that nice engagement that Viking took, which heavily punished VP when they got a couple of diebacks. Took that mid set of barracks. But after that, every single engagement once again went in VP's favour. Just team wipe after team wipe. And yep, they just closed it all out. Just bait and run, making sure that Viking use all of their big cooldowns, disengage, re-engage once they're over. Just really nice plays there by VP. Very well-deserved victory. Taking another 2-0 in the Epic League. Just super dominant showing. And now they have secured themselves for the grand final. So we'll have to wait and see who is actually going to be able to play up against them. I think it's going to be... Well, the next match is Liquid versus... Is it going to be Viking now? I don't know. The bracket system on Liquipedia says there's 2 other brackets. I don't know. I'll figure it out another time. But even still, well played to VP. Very well deserved. Taking that 2-0. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please think about liking on YouTube or following on my Twitch or Twitter. It all helps. It all goes a long way. I appreciate any sort of help I do get. So yeah, if you guys don't mind doing that, I would appreciate it. So hopefully I'll see you for the next series, which will be tomorrow. Probably starting from about 1 o'clock. So hopefully I'll see you guys then. See you later. Thanks for watching that video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and the content I was able to provide. I am just starting out, so if you did like it and you want to support me in the future, then please think about following and subscribing to me on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube. I post on Twitter what events I plan on covering in the future and when I'm actually able to do some casts. I don't have the most free time in the world, unfortunately, so I can't provide constant content, but I can guarantee you every single time that I do cast, I'm giving it my all because I have a lot of passion for it and hopefully that does come off. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you stick around for the next video. So hopefully I see you guys there. Cheers.